Welcome to MSBT Online Learning Program, MSBT Lead Learning at your doorstep. Once again, I am Mrs. Rita Bora from Electronics and Telecommunication Department of Thakur Polytechnic, Kandivali, Bombay. Basics of Microprocessor and 8051 Microcontroller. The Unit 1 we will conclude by talking about the troubleshooting of a microcontroller based system. Microcontroller is used in almost all the domestic, industrial, consumer goods and other high-end products as we have talked about it earlier. Automation is used in every field of engineering and microcontroller is inbuilt element of these systems and devices. Diploma engineers have to deal with various microcontroller based systems and maintain them. This course is intended to develop the skills to maintain and solve the application problems related to the microcontrollers. The learning objective of this session is to describe the procedure to troubleshoot the simple given microcontroller-based circuit with neat sketches. At the end of the session, you should be able to answer the questions like explain the procedure to troubleshoot the given microcontroller-based circuit. Concept map. The concept map shows us that once you are familiar with the architecture, the pin diagram, and the memory organization of the 8051 microcontroller or any microcontroller, then in that case, first of all, for troubleshooting, you should be able to observe the fault in the microcontroller based circuit or microcontroller based system. After observing the fault, the next step for troubleshooting would be to locate the fault. And once the fault is located, finally we have to correct that particular fault. Contents. What all shall we cover today? What is the meaning of troubleshooting? The different troubleshooting tools that are required. What is digital troubleshooting? A generalized troubleshooting steps and troubleshooting of microcontroller kit. So let's understand what is troubleshooting. It is a process that determines the cause of the problem in an electronic circuit by examining the affected area of it and then by taking appropriate action. The first step is always to observe the circuit. Make notes of whatever other faults that you can see. And after making the notes, only then the appropriate action should be taken. For minor problems, little knowledge about the circuit is sufficient because in that case, you only have to check the connections. If the connections are not proper, if a wire has come out or if there is an open circuit, such things can be taken care of when the problems are minor. But when the problem is major, then a thorough or a deeper knowledge of the circuit operation is required, and the troubleshooting also will require certain troubleshooting tools. Troubleshooting tools. Some of the troubleshooting tools are digital or analog multimeter, oscilloscope, LCR meters, variable power supply with meter indication. Now, troubleshooting process involves checking the terminal voltage across different components and devices in the circuit, checking the continuity of the current for open circuit faults, components like resistor, capacitor, transistors, and their status checking whether they are functioning or not, and so on. For these, some of the troubleshooting tools are listed over here. You can also see the images of certain troubleshooting tools like your multimeter or can be an oscilloscope or a logic analyzer. Digital troubleshooting. Troubleshooting digital circuitry is fundamentally testing for normal responses from external gates and flip-flops in the circuit and checking for normal operations. Whether the output of the external gates or whether the output of the flip-flop is according to what is the requirement or according to the regular operation of a gate, that checking will be done with the help of digital troubleshooting. For this, the troubleshooting tool which is most important is the logic probe. It is employed to trace logic levels and pulse through integrated circuitry to determine whether the point under the test is having logic high or logic low, or whether it is open circuited or whether it is pulsing. Let us talk about the general steps required for troubleshooting. First one is power up the circuit. Before checking with the above tools, plug the circuit to the main power supply so that it is possible to test it in different ways. Check the power supply block. Keep the multimeter probes across the transformer, the diodes, the capacitor and the regulator IC of the supply and check whether the appropriate values are found or not by inserting the multimeter in the volts mode. Check the individual components. Check the voltage across the individual components, and if any component does not show any voltage across it, then first switch off the supply and then again test the components by respective meters. Like for capacitor you can use the LCR meter, for diode you can do the testing with the multimeter and so on. Check the main controller. So test the main controller base power supply with respect to the ground without placing a controller on it. So first the controller should not be placed on it. After that, check whether some pins are shorted or not for the microcontroller. Check respective power supply pin voltages also. After that, place the IC on the base and give the input to the controller, and then you should check whether the output control signals are coming or not at the appropriate pins. So in order to do this checking, it is very essential that the thorough knowledge or deep knowledge of the microcontroller architecture is known by the student. Also, the pin functions, the various pins of the microcontroller and its functions should be known, as well as the different features of the microcontroller that is used in the microcontroller based systems should be known by the student. Students, after this you should now go for MCQ set 1. For a microcontroller, the troubleshooting can be done with the help of an oscilloscope. So in case of a microcontroller, you can check if the crystal or the clock is working and oscillating, whether the frequency of the clock is matching the crystal frequency or not. Also, we need to check the control signals like read, write, address, latch, enable, whether they are operating fine at the microcontroller pins and also the pins of the external ROM. We need to check whether any of the interrupts are permanently active or not. Also, we can check the address in the data bus. If they are active, then they indicate some address and data is being transferred to the bus. If the data in the address bus which is being transferred are to be very accurately monitored, then a logic analyzer can also be used instead of a oscilloscope. So here we are showing a picture of the oscilloscope which can be used in order to troubleshoot the various pins of a microcontroller. Microcontroller kit. The microcontroller kit or the microcontroller board is used for different practicals where you have to interface the microcontroller board with various other devices such as a stepper motor, a digital to analog converter, a matrix keyboard and many others. This diagram over here is of the microcontroller board wherein you can see the reset circuit which comprises of resistors and capacitors. You can see the crystal oscillator. This is the FRC connection for port 3. There are LEDs, 8 LEDs shown for port 3 where you can observe the output of the port 3. Similarly, the output of port 1 can be observed on these LEDs. This is the connection for port 1. Similarly for port 0, LEDs for port 0. Again port 2 connections and LEDs for port 2. Here you can see the RS232 serial data communication port. This is the power supply connections, plus 5 volts and ground. Also there is option of plus 12 volts and ground. This is the microcontroller programming cable connections, and here is the microcontroller which is on this socket. The microcontroller used could be 89S51 or it can be 8051. Troubleshooting of a microcontroller kit. In case of the microcontrollers, the reset circuit and the oscillator circuit are important as far as troubleshooting is concerned. A reset circuit in 8051 microcontroller comprises of a reset switch, a capacitor, 2 resistors and a diode. The oscillator circuit comprises of crystal and 2 ceramic capacitors having values from 30 to 33 picofarads. Also the pin EA or the external access should be connected to VCC, as it means that the program or the code is stored in the internal ROM. The reset pin should be high and this needs to be checked. If the reset switch is kept pressed, all the lines should become high. So the LEDs connected there should become red. If the oscillator circuit is working properly, then you can observe a square waveform on the oscilloscope on the pin number 30, which is the ALE pin. Because of this, the LED which is connected to this particular pin glows dimly. When the 8051 is clocked correctly, this pin or the ALE pin outputs a square wave at 1/6 of the oscillator frequency, which can be observed in the oscilloscope. Now it is time to attempt the MCQ set 2. So let us summarize. To start the process of troubleshooting, first step would be to have a close visual inspection of the system. Once the system is understood, what are the different components used, which microcontroller is used, and what are the other devices used in your microcontroller based system, then you can have a proper visual inspection of the system. After that, we need to understand the basic functionality of the system so that if there is any fault occurring, then we should be able to locate the fault. Once the fault is located, we need to proceed to analyze why the fault has taken place or what is the cause of that particular trouble. Thank you, students.